Go countdown untuk live YouTube.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And very good morning to all the respective judges, teachers, and iconic participants. Welcome to the Digital Innovative Robotics Creation. Hi, I'm Moga Putra, your moderator for today. To bless the occasion this morning, please welcome Bahar Adi to lead the prayer reading.
Al-Fatihah. Auzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami, Tuhan yang menguasai langit dan bumi. Hanya padamu sahaja kami panjatkan kesyukuran atas segala rahmat dan berkat-Mu. Bersempena dengan perkenan ini, kami mohon inayah dan taufik-Mu. Kurniakanlah kesejahteraan dan kebahagiaan serta kesihatan jasmani dan rohani. Bukakanlah hati-hati kami, lapangkanlah dada kami untuk menerima ilmu dan pengetahuan serta bimbingan para guru-guru kami yang kami kasihi. Ya Allah, ya Rahman, ya Rahim, kami memohon dengan kudrat-Mu dan hidup iradat-Mu. Berikanlah kekuatan dan ketabahan menghadapi perjuangan kami menimba dan mencari ilmu pengetahuan. Anugerahkanlah kejayaan dan kecemerlangan kepada kami dalam setiap ujian dan pencapaian. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Wassallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Farhadi, for the prayer reading. Now, I will introduce you guys our judges for today. Muhammad Shukri bin Sulaiman, present as a police English educator from MRSF Taipei. TS Dr. Faizal bin Abrazak, PhD in Computer Security, now is giving lecture at University Malaysia Pahang. Dr. Zakaria bin doing PhD in Economic Geology, today is doing research and lecture at University Science Malaysia. Enough dragging, now we shall execute the conference, starting with participants from Malaysia and Sanai. Okay, what else? We'll start the presentation.
Sorry, we're running some technical difficulty in terms of the slides for a bit, so we try to resolve the issue as fast as possible.
Sorry, there's a delay because of a issue.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Alright, we're gonna start. Good morning and Assalamualaikum to everyone. And today, me, Shafiq Zaim, and Anas Ismail and Iman Hanan will present to you about our project called the Wonder Band. Next slide, please. For the functions of the band, what does this band offers? So this band is a feature of healthcare. For us, it have multiple of functions that provides you a variety of gadgets that measure health in several ways, and it helps the elderly. How this technology is catered towards the sick and elderly in order to ensure their health, and it's very convenient as this piece of technology is wrapped around your wrist to measure your health, and it's very easy and comfortable to wear. It's also intuitive and has a long-lasting rechargeable battery. Lastly, it is used for medical purposes that can be used by the medical field to assist nurses monitor and their patients. This functions this wonder band. This wonder band is used primarily for to measure your health and of becoming the bridge of the patients and the patients itself, to show how it's very easy for the patients to have their work into the hospital maintenance system. As we know nowadays, hospital maintenance systems is something that is very hard, as patients have come into the hospital and have to wait for lines and uh, have to wait for lines and have to talk to certain stations. But with this ban, what we're looking forward for is for the patients to just come into the hospital, have a direct appointment, and have a direct appointment, and you could just right away have you diagnosed as fast as possible. So this not only will save us time, but will also improve the hospital maintenance system and the future of healthcare. For the next slides, Anas Ismail will present to you.
Okay, so some of the features of the band is that it can assist blind people. So basically, if blind people encounter an unexpected obstacle in front of them, so it's not necessarily an object that you do expect, like a huge wall, but rather an object like a bypassing cyclist, for example, or maybe a bypassing vehicle that you didn't notice at first. It will send a it will send a vibration to your arm to let you know. And it can also assist mute people because it has a small flexible screen that can display text to speech with message ready functions. So you can use it to detect if the person is suffering physical problems by measuring body health. And it can also call emergency help if anything were to happen to you. But first of all, you have to connect it to your phone now. And you can also use it to measure your health. Okay. So how the band functions? It can contract itself like a normal sphygmomanometer to measure your blood pressure, and also has sensors to detect your heart rate and temperature. And like I said earlier, it sends small vibrations to the arm when the user encounters an unexpected obstacle. But of course, you can turn that feature off. And it also detects irregularities by interpreting body temperature, breathing, and also your heart rate. So some of the functions of phone connectivity is that if you connect your phone via Bluetooth, you can access your results or your measurement via an app on the phone. And earlier on, we said about the emergency help. If he or she doesn't respond, it will automatically call the emergency number. So basically, like the band can detect if you, for example, you fell or even your heart rate drops drastically. It can call emergency help. And under the band, there is also a port that you can use to connect USB to a laptop to check your results, or maybe if you want to download your results, you can do that too. So right now, we are gonna show you a video of how the band works. Hello, can you guys hear the video?
Yes, but no sound.
Or you can see the video but no audio? Okay, how about now? Do I have to?
This is the rendered into Protect to show you how it will look like in three-dimensional. Now, Anna's going to explain to you.
It has a small storage unit that has sensors all around the device to help you measure your health. It can also detect blood pressure, heart rate, and body temperature, all to measure the physical intensity of your activity. Okay, so you might ask me, and the band really do that? Bro, it's 2022. Anything can happen. For example, you can track your body movements and also your location.
So yeah, I'm going to talk about two things the Wonder Band has. The Wonder Band is implemented cloud and IoT. What does this mean? Well, the Wonder Band can actually share information with the cloud, and for hospitals, so people can help the people who are wearing Wonder Bands, can help the person use their injury. The Wonder Band also implements IoT or Internet of Things, meaning that it's equipped with many sensors so that you can get information from others. Information like heartbeat or maybe oxygen levels. I was be wondering, like, why should a person use a Wonder Band to call the ambulance instead of just calling normally? Well, sometimes the person who is injured can be in a state of panic and can't really think properly, or maybe even the people around the person are in a state of panic. So yeah, the same solution instead of calling.
All right, that's all of our presentation. Thank you for listening. Wait. We can now proceed with the Q&A session.
Okay, thank you, Anas. Anas, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, sir.
Okay, thank you. Your idea is nice, but sadly, we are unable to hear a sound from your video. Okay. Any you compare with current device, wearable band?
So there is no specific band that is used in the medical field, but I think you can see that the band is actually very similar to the Apple Watch, actually.
Okay.
But let's put it in comparison between this Wonder Band and the Apple Watch. So the differences is that mainly this Wonder Band really is primarily for the people who are suffering from an illness and seeking for a proper guidance during the recovering from that's illness itself lah. So then this Wonder Band, it have the direct communication between the Wonder Band itself and hospital. So basically, the nurses or the staffs in the hospital can actually just monitor you right away, and you yourself can check your own documentation in the hospital. Like, let's say your last appointment, your next appointment, what are you actually sick about, and what are the tips of you try to keep your health during that time of recovering your illness. But let's say outside of the hospital, because of course you're using the Wonder Band for one thing, it's for you to recover yourself. So you can actually just access these things by the concept of Internet of Things. So what we implement is that you could check your documentation via QR code or the Wonder Band itself, because this Wonder Band have its own little screen, and it's for you to access the device.
So yeah, to make it simple, basically the Wonder Band is more geared towards professional use in hospitals. When you compare it to an Apple Watch, some people might say it's more for personal use or for sports, but for the Wonder Band, it's more towards healthcare and hospitals.
Okay, I want to ask about what is the expectation of the battery life. Let's say just like the iPhone watch. But for this one, what is the expectation the battery life?
The expectations of battery life, I think it probably would have a good run for like 13 hours, and I think you would
Yes,
have to recharge it back.
since the size is also big, we can fit a bigger battery in it. Compared to an Apple Watch, which is like small, the Wonder Band is actually bigger, so we can fit a bigger and more long-lasting battery. So yeah, maybe instead of the Apple Watch lasting for a few hours, maybe the Wonder Band can last for days or maybe even weeks if you don't use it that much.
Okay, maybe you can something using the pulse on our hand, maybe the pulse from our hand that maybe can generate something like a new extra energy here. The pulse on the hand, the palm or something that can generate some additional energy for battery.
Good idea because technically it can last forever if you ever implemented that.
So this one also come together with the watch, and so it's just like a complete band for for watch also to see the what is the date and time, or otherwise they need to also use the watch for to see the hours, date.
Yeah, that is something we can do because the band comes with a small display screen on the band. So it would be useful to have a watch on it. Because then if it doesn't, then you have to wear both, right?
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, just one question from me for KYS for your project, the Wonder Band. How you measure the obstacle? You tell us that your Wonder Band can help people, blind people, for avoid the obstacle and so on. How you measure the blind people with the obstacle?
How we measure these type of obstacles is by using other sensories that you have left. So let's say that maybe you're deaf and you still have your eyes, so you can still
What type of
use
sensor you use to measure it?
sensor to. Oh, no. It will be implement in the first appointment in the hospital, and I will describe the right Wonder Band for you. There's no type of Wonder Band, but of course there's only one type of it. But what it could do is more than to help these people. So it's more flexible. Flexible to be used for a lot of other communities. So let's say for the deaf people, we implemented text to speech. So every time you went to a different documentation or codes or whatsoever, it will read it out for you and tells you, okay, your first appointment is on 5 January and your next appointment would be on 6 September. It's kind of like that. But for deaf people, we try our best to implement the a sensory device. It was an idea that we could have like this texture like form on the pen that it would actually popped out and it will write out braille text for you. So what you could do is let's say like if you're deaf, yeah, you can either like type up braille or like you can like try to implement you sign languages through the screen itself. So what we're trying to do is like having that bridge of communication to expand it as much as we can between the hospital and the patients.
Okay, thank you.
If there is no more question, then Korea can leave the meeting.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Next, I would like to invite our second team from Sekolah Menengah Sains Tengku Muhammad Faris Petra. Without further ado, let's get to it. Ada kaki.
Faris Petra, are you ready?
Faris Petra, are you ready?
There are one participation dia nak join yet. Please wait a minute. Okay, can I start?
Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. We are AR Faris team from Sekolah Menengah Sains Tengku Muhammad Faris Petra. Our project is eco-friendly water. The advisor of our team is Puan Sahili Binti Sukri and the members are Muhammad Arashim Basri. That is me.
I am Bunyamin bin Sabri.
And I am Muhammad Farid Ikmal bin Zulkifli.
So next we can watch art made by us. Please enjoy the video. Okay, the next video is about our augmented reality in real life. Sorry, we will start again the video. First and foremost, this is the open and close button for the pipe. When we press the open button, the pipe is moving clockwise direction and water can enter the machine. After that, this is on and off button for the solar panel. When we press the on button, the solar panel will go up. These are the water storage tank. As you can see, the connection and the battery symbol will active when the solar panel provides electricity to the machine. Next is this is open and close button for the first water storage tank.
When we press the open button, the pipe is moving clockwise direction and water can be released. Same goes to the second water storage tank. When the pipe is open, when we want to close the storage tank, press the close button and the pipe will go anti-clockwise direction. The same thing goes to the second storage tank. Meanwhile, when we want to stop the solar panel, press the button, the solar panel will go downward. As you can see, the connection and battery symbol if off because the solar panel is going downward. Lastly, we need to close the pipe with press the close button when the water in the storage tank is full. The pipe will move anti-clockwise direction. Next, I want to talk about our specialty of our project. All product has own specialty. Same goes to our project. First and foremost, our project is environmental friendly because our project use solar system panel, which can generate electricity. As we all know, the solar is renewable energy that we can use continuously. Secondly, our project is very comfortable to handle as there are lots of automatic buttons to turn on or turn off the project. Next, our project is more durable and efficient because we use a great quality of material like steel as the base, high quality of PVP, and stainless steel material for the engine. Then, our project can be fixed and cleaning quickly as the part of the project can be separated easily, such as the pipe and the tube. Lastly, all the material used in the tank is easy to obtain. The materials are slackline, alum, and pebbles. Now, I want to pass this presentation to my friend, Farid Ikmal.
Okay, water will enter when the pipe is open and flow to the filtration tank. As you can see, there are 5 layers that have at the filtration tank. So the first layer is coarse gravel. Coarse gravel is end-up support, function to balance the pH and increase oxygen content and restoration of water quality. And then the second layer is fine sand for the trapping of very fine sediment at the surface of fine silica sand. And then the third layer is fine gravel, which function to remove dirt and prevent disease such as typhoid, cholera, diphtheria, and amoeba. And the fourth layer is zeolite. It is a naturally occurring mineral rock formed when mineral-rich underground water deposits crystallize. Its porous crystalline structure provides advanced filtration properties and procures a unique capacity to absorb ammonia and various ionic species, which is metal ions, calcium, magnesium, and so on. And then the last layer is anthracite or carbon. While trapping the sediments being the primary function of the carbon, it leaves 10% or 25%, 10% to 25% the chlorine in the water to give bacteria static benefit to the water in the water tank. So I will pass the presentation to the next speaker, which is Arasami.
Okay, after that, water will flow to neutralization tank. Silicate lime and alum are added into the neutralization tank. Alum will make particles join together to form larger particles, while silicate lime will decrease the acidity of water. Pass. To the next. That's all from us. Thank you.
So, okay, just now, I maybe missed something. So your project is to pump the water from the river stream, a small river, or and then we use that or to move the water to the other side. The purpose of that of this of your project here.
The first is we want to provide clean water to the villagers from river or pond.
Okay, so the use of the solar panel, it's not static. You are trying to moving the solar panel, but instead your solar panel is a static. You put as a static, or you move. You see, just now you move the solar static, the solar itself, the solar panel. What is? Maybe it's not look like practical to move the solar panel. And you also need a bigger solar panel because you need to pump the water. And maybe you need some like a bigger cover for the solar panel.
Okay, Prof, can I continue?
Okay.
All right. One question from me. How about the cost? Based on what you have shown with us, with using your reality composer, I think the cost is quite high. So your purpose is one to help people around you to provide clean water. So how about the cost?
Yeah, I think it use a large amount of cost, but it is good for the residents to use the clean water for their importance of doing the works like the residents around the people in the village will use the water to used for the daily drivers. I think for the works especially for their source of their money.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, judges and participants from Sekolah Menengah Sains Tengku Muhammad Faris Petra for the Q&A session. Now, let's proceed to our next team from College Tengku Kursia.
TKC, anytime you are ready.
Excuse me, sir. Can we start now?
Yes.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning I bid to all judges. Today I am Aisyah Ayuni Muhammad Rizal and Nurin Kristina Azrul as the representative of College Tuku Kursia. We would like to present our innovation, My Salsa, which is a smart and contactless sauce dispenser. My Salsa is a very convenient and practical to be used at food premises, food courts, and especially fast food restaurant. Without wasting our time, next slide. Without wasting our time, let me jump to our agenda. We have 5 agenda for today, which are problem statement, My Salsa achieved criteria, model design, working steps, and the last one is closure. Next slide. Before we decided to create My Salsa, we found a lot of problems that people, especially Malaysians, are facing during this pandemic era. We know that the existence of COVID-19 has changed many our life aspects. The new contactless sauce dispenser have been created by us to meet a real need by creating safer solution for consumers who are dining out and an affordable solution to reduce the transmission risk of COVID-19. Before coronavirus, we would have bottles of sauce on the table, but we had to take everything away. Now, we use single sachet, but if people take more than they need, we can't use them again, so we have to throw them away. Before this, many fast food restaurants use sauce dispenser where the customer have to push the button to pump up the sauce. One of these advantages of the dispenser is customer have to line up, and I think it is wasting our time. Then maybe accident may occur there, especially during working hours. The previous dispenser apply contact dispenser concept, which is not convenient anymore because it has high tendency to raise the risk of spreading of coronavirus. So how we can overcome this problem? My salsa can solve this problem. Next. The next one. Let's take a look for what criteria has achieved by my salsa. These are criteria achieved by my salsa. The first and foremost is user-friendly, where the my salsa is connected with remote control. The next one is eco-friendly, where we use solar charging. Next, speedy and non-tethered means that my salsa can move around a lot easier and because it is wireless and safe. Next. So for the first criteria, my salsa is user-friendly. Why my salsa is user-friendly? It is because my salsa is easy to instruct where it is connected with remote control. The remote control will be provided to send a signal to the robot. On the other hand, my salsa also provide a compartment for serviettes, fork, and spoon. But don't worry, the compartment cannot be reached by children because there is a lid to cover the compartment. So for the next criteria, I will be explaining us about eco-friendly. First and foremost, let's we understand the meaning of this criteria. Eco-friendly indicates the positive and not harmful to the environment. As I stand the criteria we are focusing, I suggested our product to use the direct current power. Some might wonder why we choose this method for our product. As I may state, DC power is far more consistent in terms of voltage delivery, meaning that most electronics rely on it and use DC power sources such as batteries compared to alternating current power. The highlight reason of why we choose this method is because it is low in installation cost. Why it is low? It is because it did not use as much power needed to deliver the voltage required by the appliance to work. Moreover, the less copper used in this DC power reduce the cost. Allow me to recall back the magnificent creation of Mendeleev, the periodic table. Copper, known as Cu in the periodic table of element, placed in group 11 of metal element with atomic number of 29. The characteristic of this metal made it one of the best reasons why we select this element. Copper is used because it is less oxidative than other metals. Second, it protects the metal from corrosion and does not interfere with conductivity. Copper has less resistivity. The conductivity will be more for metals with low resistivity. Lastly, it only requires small floor space to be placed as the power will store to the main body for how long it may be used. As we continue to maintain our criteria, we decided to use solar charging for our innovation. The cost might seem a bit pricey than the other, which approximately costs over 5,000 ringgit Malaysia with tax. But however, this is the best method to generate power. As much convenient it is, this charging method is free in the energy cycle as it will not bring harmful to the environment, yet 100% save the world. Next. Furthermore, I will be explaining the next criteria, which is speedy. As we review back onto the previous slide, time-wasted problem is what we want to overcome using this criteria, right? Focusing to the wheel of this product type, 3 wheels might seem sufficient for static and dynamic balance. But have you ever heard of the more the merrier? Let's include this beautiful place into our innovation. We choose 4 wheels robot that can implement steering method. More wheels help to move more quickly, more stable, and they are easily controlled and spin on spot or turn around in small place.
Can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so let's move on to the next criteria, which is non-tethered. Our goal is to build up a wireless innovation as we are moving forward to the high intelligence artificial technology era. Based on the study we made, we suggest of using the electromagnetic waves of radio waves as the medium used for wireless transmission of information. This is needed in order to receive the signal from the customers. While many different types of electromagnetic waves are used to convey information over distance, the most common are radio waves, also called as radio frequencies. This is a wide spectrum ranging from tens of kilohertz to 300 gigahertz. Within this spectrum, frequency bands are allocated to each use. This distribution is intended to ensure an efficient service for each user and avoid interference in transmissions and communications. Today, there are nearly a half dozen wireless charging technologies in use, all aimed at cutting cables to everything from smartphones and laptops to kitchens, appliances, and cars. One of the advanced technology companies, Apple, has created the most leisure product to all users, which is wireless charging. Give out the name of Apple MagSafe. This example of great idea influences in order to give more satisfaction to end users. Wireless charging is making inroads in the healthcare, automotive, and manufacturing industries because it offers the promise of increased mobility and advances. Using this Nobel Prize idea from the legends, we choose to include this wireless charging feature into our product using 5 watt to 20 watt to keep the battery of our innovation last longer. Moreover, the fast rate charging of MySalsa will be using the USB-C PD charger that supports at least 18 watt speed. And for your information, MySalsa is charged before a restaurant that uses the MySalsa opens in the morning. So the next criteria is safe. MySalsa is equipped with sensor or detector under the sauce channel that will detect the sauce bowl that is provided by the restaurant on every table. So when the sauce bowl is placed under the sauce channel, an adequate amount of sauce is poured into the bowl. MySalsa has cylindrical body shape, which makes it stable, as well as it consists of rubber wheels to avoid skidding. As you can see, the next slide is showing MySalsa Easy Sketch. Here are some varied perspectives, above view with the lid and above view but without the lid. So you can see there are 5 paddings at each vertex of the pentagon plate for safety purposes. If you view MySalsa stop without the lid, you will see 5 sauce containers in its body, which means there are 5 different types of sauce that can be filled in those containers, up to the customer's preference, of course. Also, for a customer to know which sauce is which, it depends on the restaurant, of course. Maybe they can put the name of each sauce on a sticker and stick them on the lid of MySalsa. Next, we can see the front view of MySalsa. There are lamps on each sauce channel that will light up red whenever the container runs out of sauce. This is assisted by the sensoring technology, which functions by sensing the mass of the sauce container. So maybe after some time, if the mass left is just a quarter of the original mass, the lamp will light up and the staff of the restaurant will know that it is time for them to fill the sauce containers. And then you can see the pentagon plate, the cylindrical body, and the wheels that have been mentioned and explained before. So I'm going to continue explaining the most imperative part for our innovation. So I'm going to explain how does MySalsa works. First, if any customers wants to have some sauce, they will push a button on a remote on the table where they sit at. The remote control is specifically designed for my salsa. So by then, my salsa will receive signals from the remote control and start moving to the assigned table. Next, the customer will place a sauce bowl under the sauce channel that they preferred, and the particular sauce will be pumped out of the sauce container through the sauce channel. Customers should then wait for a dollop of sauce to appear. Okay, so as for the advantages of having my salsa in restaurant, my salsa is guaranteed to reduce time waste since it can avoid long queue of customers that want to have those sauces. Then this innovation has low risk of accident. Even though we are aware that it is speedy, it is still made with safety precautions. Radio waves emitted by the my salsa will sense any obstacle along its way to the assigned tables. Obstacles like furnitures or people will be avoided so that my salsa will change the direction if needed to avoid crash. But at the end of it, it will still move towards the assigned table to get to the customers that ordered for the sauce. This will clearly ensure the happiness of customers since it eases their life. And most importantly, our innovation can ensure the customers to keep themselves safe from COVID-19 since my salsa is a contactless sauce dispenser. Next, this is a quick video showing the externals of my salsa.
If you are done presenting.
And with that, I think that's all from our group. Thank you so much.
Okay, so I think this the idea is good, and you also try to relate with the current situation of the COVID-19, and I think basically it's quite a good idea. I have no comment, no other comment.
Thank you, sir.
I have one question. How about the response after the user or customer push the button, calling the my salsa?
Excuse me, sir. Sorry, but we can't hear you clearly.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I want to ask about the response time. Okay, once the customer push the button or remote control, how about the my salsa response to the customer? If we have a lot of customer or multiple of customer click the remote control at the same time.
So when we have a lot of customer in a restaurant or food premises, the robot will arrange the customer according to their turn.
Okay.
Okay, just one idea from me. If you notice that you are using reality composer, right, to show how your salsa work. So maybe after this, you can use the same concept and try at the real contextual. Okay, real contextual means that you use your salsa at your restaurant or any fast food yang berdekatan lah dengan you all kan. So means that you can show the salsa in the real world. Okay, sebab I noticed that the first your explanation is not clearly. Actually, your salsa is about what, and then after you show the last video, okay, I can see your idea clearly lah. Okay, so that from me. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues Kursia, for the presentation and judges for the Q&A session. Next, I would like to invite our fourth team from Sekolah Tuanku Abdul Rahman.
All right, testing. Hello, Assalamualaikum. Do you hear my voice?
Yes, yes.
All right, thank you. So, screen. All right, so can I start? Good morning, dear judges and everybody. My name is Naufal and my teammates are Afzan and Muaz. We are Team Star. Before we present our innovation, let us give you a sneak peek of what we're going to talk about.
Over the years, plastic in the ocean is increasing. The amount of plastic trash that flows into the ocean every year is expected to nearly triple by 2040 to 29 million metric tons. The major problem is, if this activity is not stopped, plastic pollution in the ocean physically affects the several marine organisms and poison human food systems. It can also bring negative effects on the human health. So, in today's discussion, we will talk how to tackle this problem.
Let's start with a question. What will happen if the ocean are completely covered with plastic? Well, firstly, the plastic on the ocean surface can trap sunlight, making the surface warmer and reducing the amount of light and heat traveling to the depths of the ocean. Secondly, if plastic litter were to cover the ocean surface, it can have a ripple effects on the marine ecosystem and affect the planet's climate system. This will lead to a faster global warming. This is actually a prime example of plastic pollution in the ocean, where marine life such as turtle cannot identify the difference between plastic and jellyfish. So there's a lot of method has been used to reduce the ocean plastic in the ocean, such as recycling and also biodegrading plastic. But there's a pros and cons. The pros of recycling that it helps keep the plastic out of the ocean and reduces the amount of new plastic. But the cons is some irresponsible people will throw the plastic into this ocean without any hesitation. For biodegrading plastic, the pros, it will lower the petroleum consumption, but for your information, it does not solve plastic pollution in the ocean because it takes times, even decades, to degrade biodegrading plastic. So that's why we today want to introduce you to our innovation that's called Orca. So what is Orca? Well, Orca is a short form for Ocean Rubbish Collector Automaton. It is aerodynamic, it has speed 4 times as the average human, movable in water, it has artificial intelligence, and also have biomimicry, which we use a shape of a whale. So our objective in building this innovation is to clean the ocean before it's too late, to find new efficient way to clean the ocean, and to also protect the marine life and food source in the ocean, such as tuna, sardine, crab, lobster, and many more. So let's see how Orca works.
As you can see here, it is collecting rubbish, and once it's on low battery or full, it will then go to the nearest charging station for charging and also to throw away the trash that is collected. Battery indicator is installed for easier alert to people about battery status.
So our target in releasing Orca is as following, because they are considered as the most polluted ocean in the world. This has actually also opened up an opportunity for us to make a collaboration with other companies to better improve our product. This will actually also open up the eyes of the world where great innovators come from. So these are the some of components that we think that are needed for Orca, such as camera, a solar panel to charge itself, a GPS transmitter to always detect where Orca is, a thermal sensor to detect the difference between a fish where it has a body heat and a rubbish where it doesn't have a body heat, and also a supersonic sensor to detect its surrounding. Where I have shown you, we also have the battery station, where we also provide a battery indicator for easier status seeing, a GPS transmitter, so the Orca knows where the nearest battery station is. So what does all of this got to do with STEM? Well, let's start with science. As I just said, we have used a biomimicry of whales. Using the anatomy of whale really push our limit to design the shape of Orca. This is to ensure Orca move faster by using less energy and power. We also have these are some of the examples that we actually use, such as the fusiform shape, the pectoral flippers, and also the dorsal fin to in Orca. Next is the technology. So we have in technology we use machine learning. So machine learning is programmed in Orca, so it allows it to become more accurate at predicting outcomes without being explicitly programmed to do so. Machine learning algorithm use historical data as input to predict new output values. And then we use engineering, hydrodynamic drag. So hydrodynamic principle is used to reduce the cost of fuel and to affect the body, mainly by wind drift and waves, which drive the sediment in the water to move. So lastly is math. We just use a simple one, which is speed formula is used to calculate the distance between the shore and Orca. Hence, this is how shows Orca is capable of collecting data while in the ocean. So what are the advantages of our innovation? So first advantage, it works 24/7 because it uses solar power. It can track down around the world in case of emergency and just to see where Orca is. The advantage 3 is not harmful to marine life. And the fourth, it is user-friendly as you can use it just by using your phone and you can see it where Orca is. So that is all from us. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Ustaz. Very good idea. But personally, I have seen your project before this in AR National Challenge, I think. AR National Challenge at KLCT. So actually, what is the added value the new for this competition and before this? What are the different your project from the last competition?
Well, first off, our new version is actually a different model from the last one. This model has proven to be more aerodynamical, and it does have a more hard body. That's the primary difference. The second difference is that this version of Orca can submerge underwater, because this technique is actually discussed last time, and we were not really confident with the last answer, but now we can safely say that this orca can submerge and easily being protected from the harsh weather.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, because this is like a model, it's just like almost the same with the fish, and how to avoid from become the other fish, a bigger fish, maybe disturb this because it just look like a fish. So maybe like a shark, they may be interested to this robot. How to avoid that?
Well, for this case, I will answer this. So for this case, we'll actually put like sound for when fish is near. So when fish is near, we'll put a loud sound and it will get annoyed and the fish will like run away, because as we see, animals are scared of loud sounds. So that is what we want to do for orca.
I have one question. Okay, how you detect the trash in the ocean?
Sorry, can you repeat?
How your orca can detect trash in ocean?
What?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question?
Okay, can you hear me? Slow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slow.
How your orca can detect trash in ocean?
Okay, the orca can detect trash in the ocean by using a thermal sensor. Okay, we have conducted several experiments on the internet. The thermal sensor can detect body heat, and the orca itself can automatically open and close its mouth 24/7. And when it detect a body heat, it will automatically close and avoid the fish. So when it avoid the fish, it can detect more rubbish in its path.
Okay, thank you.
Done with our first team. Now we're going to have recess for 1 hour and continue later at 11:30 with participants from Malay College Kuala Kangsar.
Terima kasih, Doktor.
Okay, terima kasih. Nanti
Thank
inform
you.
adik dalam WhatsApp ya.
Alright.
Okay.
Snap. Bring your A-game.
Dunia pendidikan sudah berubah. Semuanya sudah berbeza. Kita tidak lagi boleh gunakan cara lama. Snap telah merupakan satu game changer. Pengajaran dan pembelajaran akan menjadi lebih menarik.